Oxys RAK-UO6M, an oxygen supply system for hospitals, is Korea's representative medical oxygen generator. This system can supply 90% concentration level of oxygen, up to 48 liters per minute, when supplied to pressure-free. You can operate the RAK-UO6M through the control panel located on top left of the product front that shows the data for the whole system. At both sides of the product are intake vents for cooling, and at the back of it exists a fan for cooling and nitrogen discharge. Open the door and you will find 6 oxygen units that concentrate the oxygen and 1 booster unit for increasing the pressure. If a partial failure occurs, the whole system does not stop instantly, as the units are combined in a parallel manner. This means that the product can be fixed up with ease by replacing a unit on site. When using RAK-UO6M, check if the external power lamp is turned on after connecting the power, and make sure that the power failure alarm switch is on. The RAK-UO6M has an alarm function. Please be aware that an alarm will sound if there is a power failure or a problem with the oxygen supply pressure. In the display window, you can check the oxygen concentration level from the oxygen purity meter. You can notice the purity level from 73% to 93% through the number of lights on it. You can also tell when to replace the filter or when to have a regular inspection. When the remaining space is 1 or less, it is time to replace the filter and have a regular inspection. In general, the intake filter and the moisture filter should be replaced every 3,000 hours and the bacteria filter every 9,000 hours. The compressor and the zeolite should be checked every 9,000 hours. When installing the product, make sure that there are no obstacles in the intake and outlet vents, and keep it at least 20 centimeters away from anything around it. Also, the installation environmental conditions must be observed. To operate the product, turn on the operation switch on the control panel and make sure that the product operation lamp is lit. The purity level of oxygen is lower than 90% right after starting the product, so the system discharges concentrated oxygen for the first 5 minutes. At this time, there is no change in the pressure of the oxygen tank or the oxygen supply. 5 minutes after starting the product, the oxygen supply starts as the discharge valve closes automatically. At the same time, the pressure of the oxygen tank and the oxygen supply increase, and you can check the amount of oxygen flow supplied. When the oxygen supply pressure reaches 4 bars, 48 liters of oxygen is supplied per minute. When the oxygen tank pressure reaches 5 bars, the pressure regulation valve is activated so that the oxygen tank pressure no longer rises. To power off the product, turn off the operation switch on the control panel. The product will stop working and the lamp will go out. Finally, if the unit breaks down in use, do the following. Turn off the unit's power switch, disconnect the power and tubing connections, and then disassemble the 4 fixing bolts above and below the front of the unit. Pull the unit forward and the unit will come out. Put the new unit back in the right place. Be careful not to install the unit in a slanted way. Tighten the fixing bolts, connect the removed power and tubing, and turn on the unit power switch back to complete the replacement. You can choose to add an automatic switching valve to the Oxys oxygen supply system for hospitals. In case of emergency, auxiliary oxygen source is supplied automatically through the automatic switching valve. Oxys owns 34 Korea, China, and USA patents, and strict compliance with ISO 9001 and ISO 13485. More than 400 medical centers in Korea have used Oxys's oxygen supply systems for hospital. Oxys has subsidiaries in 2 countries abroad and works in collaboration with companies from 3 countries. Based on outstanding technology, quality, and reliability, Oxys products have been exported to 15 countries and more. Meet Oxys's RAK-U06M products today. Thank you for watching this video, and please visit Oxys's website now and check the more informations about Oxys's businesses and products.